panel review of Supergirl. I want to hear your thoughts. Alan and I, you saw what we had to say about it. I want to hear what you guys, and this is a spoiler discussion. So everything's on the table. You've been warned. Want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think? And I've watched nearly all your videos.
I thought it was boring, honestly. Yeah, it was a terrible movie. I thought it was boring. From the moment you're introduced to Kara, like you have like this sort of like disgust in the back of your throat, like, oh, this is who we're following, this disgusting creature right here. And she remains that way through the end. Even when she puts on her super suit, like she's still pretty. She's not put together throughout the whole movie. But, you know, that was one of their talking points, that she's messy, and they're very proud of that. They're very proud that she didn't wear any makeup throughout the entire movie. And it's really bad. It's not fun to look at, and it's not fun to watch. The story is all over the place. It's very clunky. A lot of people really liked Jason Momoa. I personally didn't, because I was just like, okay, well, I mean, he could be taken out of the movie, nothing would change. But also, it's just Jason Momoa in different makeup. So I think that a lot of people just like Jason Momoa. And that's why they're like, I love Lobo. That's my personal opinion. But I mean, he's the same in every single movie. So I was just like, okay, well, it's just Jason Momoa. There's not a big deal here. But yeah, the movie was bad. It was just bad. I didn't like it. Yeah.
Let me ask you, if I've been around plenty of drunk people, but what are you doing?
This could have been Supergirl.
This could have been Supergirl.
And a real athlete from the esteemed WNBA, Sophie Cunningham.
Okay, that's not what's on screen.
What team is she on? What team
That's not what's on screen.
She would make a good Supergirl. Look at
I
her.
thought you're saying Supergirl could have killed immigrants, and then it would.
I know. I was like, why is Citizen?
I know. It's like, I don't know what he's doing.
Holy smokes!
All right,
she could have. Yeah.
No, I was just saying. I've been around a lot of drunk people in my life. I just didn't feel like her drunk was very authentic. It felt very actory. Maybe am I the only one who feels that way?
Yeah.
No, I would agree with you. I want to know why. So Kara Zor-El is from a planet with amazing super science and is presumably one of the great places in the universe. And then it blew up. And then she survives that and is on Argo City, until a calamity befalls it. But she comes from a civilization that was pretty great. And then she comes to the Earth, where Kal-El is there, and also Earth has hundreds of metahumans on it. It's been, for hundreds of years now, it's been a citizen of the universe. We've got the guardians of Oa there. I don't even understand why is she okay. She grew up knowing she was a refugee from a planet that exploded by no fault of anyone. Why is she so, when she says he sees the good in people, I see the truth, or whatever? What truth?
Yeah. It was 8 years. She was floating on that planet for 8 years before she was born, into a post-scarcity or whatever the hell it is.
Of course,
it was the kryptonite that was growing in the ground that killed them all.
Yeah,
was there all along.
But still, it's like, I mean, the truth of what? She hasn't had a lot of hardship in her life, other than the fact that she's a refugee, but she had loving people around her entire life. Yep. And her father saved her, sent her to the one place in the universe. Like, what I don't understand about this movie, I get the Tom King book. I understand it's True Grit and all that.
They didn't adapt that. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I know, right? How do you not show, like, Earth would be a pretty interesting place, I would think, for her. Like, she could travel. She can go meet a Green Lantern. It looks better than
Krypton does. I'm not a fan of the way they're depicting their civilization. By the way, you made me realize a couple of things, Robert. But one of them is that she got Kal-El's or Clark's actual origin story, where loving parents that sent him to an Earth to be good, and then he got the Conquer storyline.
Yes, they gave that to to Kara.
She also lived in America. The racist, misogynistic America.
And how does she have cash? She bought a spaceship. She's buying all of her drinks.
Where did that spaceship come from?
I don't know.
What was this? And how many planets does she go to in the movie? Is it 3? More than 3?
Yeah.
She goes to 3.
They're all the same.
Is it that easy to pop around the galaxy? They couldn't, like, that's why the Krypton origin doesn't make any sense now. Like, how
No.
far is Krypton from all this spacefaring?
You say it like Brando.
Brando does. Yeah. Krypton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's the
Brando.
correct pronunciation.
Is
As
it,
you
what,
are on
what you just
1970 Krypton.
described, Robert? It's very interesting because what you were just describing reminds me of the modern woman, right? You can grow up with great parents in a great family household and still be so angry and so full of trauma, made up trauma. Like it's so full of trauma. It's basically the writer. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It's a modern.
Yeah.
It's the writer.
More
You can
self-insert.
grow up with very little hardship in a loving family, and yeah, she had to watch her mother die, and she had to leave everybody behind. And she goes to this planet where she still has family there. She's got Clark, and she can be like, oh well, they did what's best for me, and I'm going to try to make the most of it and really take what my mom said to heart, even though whatever her mom said was whatever.
Just be good.
And try to make the best life that she can, but instead she wants to have this self-pity party and get drunk all the time and not really talk to Clark, and that's basically the modern woman. She creates her own drama, her own trauma.
The thing is
a reason to be upset, a reason to go out every weekend and drink.
The thing is, I've seen this story. I mean, I watch hundreds of independent films every year. I see this story a lot. The whole PTSD. A tragic event happened when I was young, and now I'm a drunk. And in some way, as indie films, they earn it because you feel what they feel. They the experience they've gone through, the death of a family, death of parents, death of children. This one, she's on screen and you just have to accept it. She feels bad. She has PTSD. There's no real explanation as why. And even if you did explain it, I don't know that we could relate to it and really understand.
Well, there was one, but it was on the newspaper that gets pissed on immediately by Crypto in the beginning, where it shows Superman saving a bunch of people, and then her in the bottom corner where like she saves cats from a tree. So on Earth, she doesn't feel like she's enough because Superman already exists and is doing it better. So it's easier to just go.
He's Superman and she's Supergirl, not Superwoman.
Yeah.
I mean,
what did it say about her and her? What was Clark teaching her all this time? That she feels bad that he's the hero and she's not. And again, it's all conjecture into what is causing her problem. We don't know. We just have to accept it.
Well, and that's the whole
she's
movie.
Upset.
Is accept everything. Everything is just accept it. Like nothing, tons of stuff's not explained. It's even like I'm still just so hung up on the fact that like the MacGuffin of the movie, the Crypto, why they have to do all this stuff. He gets shot with that arrow. She gets shot with the exact same arrows at the end of the movie. All she does is the yellow sun, so she's over it. Could they not have flown Crypto to a yellow sun and healed him instantly? And the movie's over in 30 minutes.
No,
I'm glad he was wearing the antidote around his neck.
They very specifically said they couldn't move him. It would make the poison go faster, so he had to stay there still.
And we know this because they showed the green molecules, which was incredibly stupid. I don't know. I think one of the things we talked about last week, Alan, on our Friday show, is that someone pointed out that the modern female superhero girl boss actually has the character traits of a villain. And that's why they don't resonate. The character traits are ones that would be a villain.
Because they're very self-centered and self-serving.
Yes.
That's why.
Selfish, not selfless, like all the villains' attributes. You go, well, that's why these girl boss characters, they're a hero because of their identity. Not because of the values they espouse.
I don't even blame Krim for killing her whole family because her stupid fucking brother jumped out and scared him, and he had an automatic reflex. And then the parents attacked him. Random. That was self-defense on his part. I don't even know if he was really the villain that they were trying to make him out to be.
Yeah,
Again, have you ever seen a movie?
Like the brother just jumps out. It's like, why did he do that?
Well, because he had space AirPods on.
Because everyone listens to music all the time in space.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a movie where a child witnesses the death of her parents, his or her parents?
You mean my noble and innocent family?
Yeah, I mean, and this is my point about the script. This story is there's nothing new about it. It's just same themes tread over and over again. And the thing is, you're supposed to if you're going to go the route of a basic story, then you've got to make it something unique, especially to Supergirl. And this script just failed to do that in every way.
But
You know what,
they
you
only
could
do
have-
solid scripts.
Here's another thing though, like with the little girl Ruthie that watched her parents get killed. I'm trying to look up the age of the actor because I know she's very young. But she's standing there watching her family get murdered, and she has like the most bland reaction. Now, I don't know if it's because of the direction that she was given, but she was just standing there. It would be more impactful if she was frozen in place and shaking because she doesn't know what to do, and she's like welling up with tears. But there, you get nothing from that. She's just standing there with like this blank reaction.
Yeah. Problem
With
is
the
Bruce
blank
Wayne
face.
already did that. So
It would have been so much more impactful had she reacted a little bit to it, like because she's literally just standing there, and you would believe that trauma. You'd believe that she would want revenge. You'd believe that she has, this. It's very impactful when it happened, seeing her family just slaughtered in front of her. But there was nothing. She was literally just standing there. So I was just like, all right, well, I guess that happened.
Well,
Rotten Tomatoes has dropped from, it was 57, 59 was the highest. It started at 60, then dropped live while I was doing the Nooner with Gary last Wednesday. Now it's at 54% critics and 76. Blaine, you said on Criticless it's 27.
It is 26%.
26. Oh my God.
And that's 120 reviews. So
wow.
it is, and it's stayed. It's just been going down and down, and it's not like a ton of like what we call low effort ship missiles, which is just people like popping in and dropping a low score with nothing. Like there's a lot of people that have clearly seen it, have plenty to say on it, and nobody. There are so few. I think we have like 2 or 3 most excellents in the whole thing.
I couldn't help when I wanted to like this movie. I'm a big DC fan. I was hoping it would be good. It was actually painful to watch for me from an intellectual standpoint, because I saw so many things that when you see Superman meeting her, when she's come to Earth in a pod, I was thinking to myself, I couldn't help but think about Patty Jenkins' first Wonder Woman movie, where Wonder Woman finally shows up in man's world and is like walking down the street and sees ice cream and sees a baby, and she's the awe and wonder that Wonder Woman is feeling as she's experiencing human society.
And she wants to be a hero. She like specifically left her island to go be helpful.
Yeah, and it's like I would have been. Maybe I've watched too many videos of foreigners coming to the World Cup and discovering what's great about America, but it would have been really funny or interesting to see Supergirl, like an extended montage or something, where Superman introduces her to Earth, or just you could have done a whole movie about her coming to Earth and figuring out humanity, and what she wants to do, and it could have been a much more interesting film than this. I mean, there was nothing about this movie that somebody said earlier that we haven't seen before. And then at the end, what kind of message does it leave the audience that she executes somebody?
She said she misunderstood, or she misunderstood the ending of the actual book, where he's not killed at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, Superman killed someone in Man of Steel. She can kill someone.
Well,
but I mean, another missed opportunity. If they're going to go with cliches, at least do fun ones. They could have had her do one of those cheap, you see it in teen movies for girls, where in front of a mirror to pop music, trying different outfits. They could have had different Supergirl outfits, some more revealing, some not, to settle on her final outfit. It could have been, I mean, that's a cliche from like 80s movies, but those are,
but it would have been fun.
Right.
Yeah,
well, those are things that make her likable and make this movie likable. There is nothing in this movie that is like very fun or likable in general. It's a real problem when you have like a cameo from Seth Rogen as an alien with no balls. That is one of the more likable things in this movie. That's a problem.
Yes.
Have you ever seen that joke before, where the small alien has the deep voice and the big guy is?
I like the David.
Remember that joke?
Yeah,
I like the David Corn sweat scenes. I like that, but it actually, that and a combination of some of Robert's streams and tweets made me realize what my actual issue is that I've been feeling since the first Superman, and that's that he's not Superman. He's Clark. He's Clark all the time. When he's Superman, he acts like Clark.
Yes.
When he's Clark, he acts. And so for me personally, let me get this out. For me personally, I always view Superman as 3 different personas. It's Superman, stoic. He's fucking Superman, what we classically think of. He's Clark Kent, right? The human disguise. And then there's the real dude who's like Clark on the farm or Kal-El in the fortress.
Yes.
That's the real mixture of both Kryptonian and his human heritage. And he loves both. And in most of these, he knows Kryptonian and knows about the culture. But in this one, because they have now quadrupled down on the fact that his parents did send him to Earth to conquer it, he has completely divorced himself of his Kryptonian heritage. And he's just Clark and it's his parent. And that takes away like all the fucking majesty and regality and all of the things that make Superman Superman. He's just Clark. He's just some dude that puts his fucking boots on one at a time and gets upset with his girlfriend when they argue. And this is all comes down to James Gunn, because as he said from the beginning years ago, where he said, I didn't even want to do a Superman movie because I couldn't get a handle on the character. He doesn't get Superman. So he takes away all the interesting shit about him to make him just a dude in a suit.